Hello everyone, this is Rory and welcome to the Spaceport. In today's video, I really just want to go over why Star Wars The Old Republic is an amazing era and something which I think Disney should really focus on in the next few years with shows and movies, and I think it's something that's been really abandoned and there's so much content there already. I think it'd be so amazing to dive into. So this is what I want to talk about in today's video. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe and like, and let's get into this. So the first thing I kind of want to mention, which I already briefly went over in the in the opening, is that there's so much content and lore that is already there. There's so many characters: Satele Shan, Darth Revan, Darth Malgus, and there are only a few that are some of the bigger names. If you play some of the Star Wars: The Old Republic games, like the MMO, there's a lot of content there and you can kind of get into some of the lore. But I think what would be really good for Disney to do is to introduce this into TV shows and movies, and something which is a bit more explainable, because sometimes it's hard to understand where to start when you're looking at the Old Republic, because there's so much content that's already been made, and you kind of get thrown into it at a random point, it feels like, in the video games, and there's not really a start, like a clear start, which I know makes sense because it's such a big universe and there's no point in limiting the world just by creating a clear beginning. So there's that part of the Star Wars: The Old Republic which can really be kind of helped in the shows by kind of giving us some sort of main storyline for a character. Maybe they could pick a show on just Darth Malgus, or just one of the bigger characters probably, or maybe a smaller character and intertwine that character within the era. Now again, it's hard to try and make it so everything makes sense. Of course, I think Disney want to make content which doesn't, I guess, disrupt canon too much, which again makes sense because there's so much there already that they have to keep changing stuff. And you got stuff like Legends, which is just being changed all the time with the new canon, and Star Wars: The Old Republic, it probably could be hard to intertwine new stories within this, but there definitely is a way that they could maybe just follow one of the stories throughout, I guess, one of the video games, or maybe they even make a TV show or a film on, I guess, KOTOR. A lot of people love that game, and there was a lot of people saying that the story was amazing. I haven't played it myself, but the story there, you can definitely put into some sort of live action. I personally think that would be a good start to start safe with this new era and then go into it more, because I think if they focus on some Star Wars content later on with the sequels, then it's like, personally I didn't like the sequels, but there'll be a lot of I guess like maybe controversy there, and also I think it would just be better to go back in time, just to some of the stuff that has already been made, but there could go definitely further into, because there is so much more that is missing there. Now we do have the show The Acolyte, which is coming out sometime, and I think this show it's going to be set in the High Republic, I'm pretty sure, so it's not going to be focusing definitely on the Old Republic, but it is a step closer. It does show that they do want to go, I guess, further back and explain some more stuff, and I think them going back to the High Republic is kind of a step in the right direction to where Star Wars, I think, should mainly focus on. I do like all the prequel era and the original trilogy, especially the place in time between the originals and the prequels, that the Old Republic would be a perfect place to start. And when you play through the games and whatever, you really feel like it is Star Wars. There's so many Jedi, there's so many Sith, and this is what I think makes it the most fun era. Yeah, I just think, and there's not really, I guess, a sense of a lack of Sith or lack of Jedi. There's tons of Jedi and there's tons of Sith, but I guess the closest thing that we've had to them diving into the Old Republic, of course after some of the older games, is the KOTOR remake, which did get cancelled. And you know, that could have been really good for Disney if they did release that game, because then people would see it as, okay, this is something that is really fun, I want to know more about this era, and then they could have put in the TV shows and films. But they didn't do that, and I think maybe that was a mistake. But you know, there's no harm in still making TV shows and films in that era anyway. But that's all I want to say for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.